I support him. I think I always will. I don't want anything ever to happen to him bad.
OMG, Selena's reaction to Justin's leaked music just broke the internet. The timing has fans spiraling. With cheating rumors already surrounding Benny, some are starting to wonder, could this be the moment Selena and Bieber finally find their way back to each other? Let's get into it. As we're serving looks in spring 2025, the entertainment girlies and boys have been buzzing hard with some major tea that dropped in late March. According to the hottest gossip, Justin Bieber's unreleased album, Jack Blues, named after his baby with wife Hailey, allegedly leaked online just one day before Selena was about to drop her collab album with fiancé Benny Blanco. The timing is sus for real and has everyone in the comments absolutely losing it over this possible petty king behavior. But before we fully go off on this alleged leak moment, let's circle back for the newbies who might not be caught up on this iconic main character energy. For those who somehow missed this whole era, Selena and Justin's relationship has been the blueprint for toxic but can't quit each other vibes since they soft launched as a couple in 2011. Their on-again, off-again situationship, which spanned nearly 8 years with more breakups than we can count, basically created the relationship drama template that Stan Twitter feeds on. The piping hot tea about Justin's Jack Blues album leak revolves around a website called JB Vault that popped up around March 20th, 2025. According to TikTok sleuths, the real MVPs of celebrity detective work, this site claimed to drop 18 new tracks from the Canadian pop prince, including collabs with Ed Sheeran, Miley Cyrus, and other big names. What's sending fans into their villain era is that this alleged leak happened literally hours before Selena's I Said I Love You First album was set to drop on March 21st, 2025. The timing had fans absolutely triggered. Social media, especially X, formerly Twitter, exploded with stans accusing Justin of trying to steal Selena's thunder. Comments like, "They can't let her have anything and y'all better stream hard for Selena" flooded everyone's timelines, giving major protect our queen at all costs energy. But wait, there's a plot twist. The receipts on JB Vault aren't exactly checking out, and internet sleuths are calling cap on the whole situation. Investigations showed the site listed a fake VAT number and a phone number that Google couldn't even find. Plus, the address linked to some random office space in Calgary. These red flags are giving major clout-chasing vibes, suggesting this might be a fan-made hoax or publicity stunt rather than an actual Justin-approved leak. Still, whether the leak was giving real or fake energy, just the idea of it dropping right before Selena's big moment was enough to make the fandom absolutely feral. The Stan Wars were reignited faster than a TikTok dance trend, with neither Justin nor Selena addressing the chaotic energy surrounding the leak allegations. Making the situation even spicier is the vibe of Selena's album itself. The girlies and boys are convinced several songs on I Said I Love You First are straight-up shade toward her ex, particularly a track called You Said You Were Sorry that's giving major callback to Justin's 2015 hit Sorry, which we all know was about Selena. The lyrics hit different with lines like, "Don't think about you, happy without you, more now than I ever was," and "But I had a dream, you said you were sorry, sorry for everything, that you put on me, which is absolutely serving closure queen energy. Another track, Younger and Hotter Than Me, has fans theorizing it's a direct reference to Hailey Bieber, who's 4 years younger than Selena. The internet is convinced this bop is addressing the competition vibes, especially since Justin wifed up Hailey so quickly after the Gelena era officially ended. For the record, Selena spilled some tea in a Spotify interview, saying, "Most of this album has nothing to do with what everyone may go to. I've evolved so much, and I have experienced life with new people. This gives big I'm over it energy," suggesting that while some tracks might reference past trauma, her album is more of a whole personal growth journey. Stan reactions to Selena's album have been a whole vibe, with fans living for her healing arc and thanking Benny Blanco for being her green flag king. X posts included comments like, "You said you were sorry is really about giving yourself closure and just letting go," showing how the besties are connecting with her emotional transformation era. To truly get the big picture of this moment, we need to flash back to the roots of this iconic pop culture moment. The Gelena timeline started in 2010 after they first met in 2009 through their managers. What began as bestie vibes quickly leveled up to couple goals that had teens everywhere absolutely shaking. They hard launched their relationship on the red carpet at the 2011 Vanity Fair Oscars party. And from that moment, their every interaction became fodder for stan accounts, with each Instagram post and paparazzi shot analyzed harder than an AP exam.
Yeah, it's a great thing to say, huh?
What do you have to say now? Well, you were trying to hide it still, right? But then now you've made it public. Now y'all went to the Vanity Fair party and made me a fool.
Their relationship served major whiplash energy with multiple breakups and makeups. The first big split hit in November 2012, blamed on busy schedules and long-distance struggles. But by April 2013, Justin was posting throwback pics on IG, signaling they were back in their soft era. Breakup number 2 happened in November 2014, right when rumors started that Justin was catching feelings for Hailey Baldwin. This era was peak drama, with Selena briefly in her DJ Z era, while Justin was linked to basically every IT girl. Despite the new situationships, Justin later told Complex in 2015 that his time with Selena was a marriage kind of thing, confirming they were definitely endgame material at one point.
It was where I was in that
So
time.
this is obviously it's about your relationship with Justin. There's no secret there.
The final era of Gelena ended in March 2018, with sources spilling that trust issues were the main character in their downfall. According to Us magazine, Selena definitely had some major trust issues with Justin. This breakup stuck, and Justin speed ran a relationship with Hailey, putting a ring on it in September 2018, just months after the Gelena finale. The aftermath of their relationship has continued serving tea by the gallon. In a 2020 NPR interview for her Rare era, Selena revealed she experienced certain abuse during her time with Justin, specifically calling out emotional abuse. This bombshell added serious weight to their historical timeline, though Justin's team went radio silent on these claims. The Gelena saga got even messier with rumors that Hailey stole Justin from Selena, which Hailey addressed head-on in September 2022 on the Call Her Daddy podcast, saying, "I was never with him when he was in a relationship with anybody. That's the end of it." She gave major mature queen vibes, adding, "There's no drama, personally," and mentioned she and Selena had talked since the wedding. Selena responded to Hailey's interview with peak class on TikTok Live, calling out toxic stan behavior and promoting kindness, suggesting these two boss babes may have found peace despite the fandom chaos. It's worth noting how these past dynamics might be coloring the interpretation of current events, including the alleged album leak tea and Selena's new music. The complex history between Selena, Justin, and Hailey continues shaping how stans view every move, even as each tries to build their separate main character journeys. As we've established, Selena and Justin's relationship has been documented more thoroughly than a beauty guru's skincare routine, with both artists regularly using their music as therapy sessions to process their feelings. This musical back and forth has become core to their post-breakup dynamic, with stans dissecting lyrics faster than TikTok detectives on a true crime case. Selena's 2025 album, I Said I Love You First, a collab with fiancé Benny Blanco, is serving major growth energy while still addressing some past trauma. Let's break down these tracks and see what tea she's actually spilling. The track that has everyone in a chokehold is How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten, which sleuths believe is calling out Justin's attempt to slide back into her DMs as friends in 2024. According to insiders, Justin reached out trying to mend fences after becoming a dad. The lyrics are giving major too little too late energy, exploring what it feels like when someone who ghosted you suddenly remembers you exist. The stan reactions on X about this track were peak internet culture, with theories flying that Justin was secretly streaming it on repeat and having a full breakdown over the lyrics. One X post said, Selena Gomez writing about Justin Bieber with her current fiancé is kinda crazy, but the songs are great, so, which basically captures the chaotic energy around this situation. Another bop that's causing a complete meltdown is You Said You Were Sorry, which is directly connecting to Justin's 2015 hit, Sorry. The girlies are convinced these lyrics are addressing a rumored 2024 apology from Justin, giving major I've heard this before vibes. When she sings Don't Think About You, Happy Without You, More Now Than I Ever Was, and But I Had a Dream, You Said You Were Sorry, Said You Were Sorry, Sorry for Everything, That You Put on Me, That You Put on Me, it's serving closure anthem realness. Don't Wanna Cry is another track that fans and media besties are interpreting as shade toward Justin's public spiral moments, including his music and messy era choices. The lyrics hint at emotional damage caused by watching someone's self-destructive behavior, which some connect to Justin's rumored substance struggles. This song is giving, I've moved on but still care about your well-being energy. This isn't Selena's first rodeo using music to process her Bieber feelings. In 2014, she famously showed Justin the music video for The Heart Wants What It Wants before dropping it, a track that fully called out their toxic cycle. Sources spilled that Justin was giving major jealous boyfriend vibes about the video's male lead, showing how their musical responses have always been intertwined with their IRL drama.
Were you and are you nervous about letting everybody in and letting everybody hear what exactly is going on in your mind and in your heart?
Why everybody wants to form their own opinions anyway.
Well, that's what I wonder. Did you feel like you needed to explain yourself because it's so played out in the media?
I think I think the biggest problem I had this year, even with him and on his side, is identity.
While Selena's musical responses to Justin are giving encyclopedia entry vibes with how well they're documented, our sleuthing shows zero receipts that she's ever publicly reacted to his fashion serves. Even when Justin showed up at Coachella 2025 in an outfit described as pants under his pants that had meme accounts feasting, Selena kept her thoughts on his fit completely offline. This suggests that while she might process their relationship through music, she's not interested in engaging with the more surface-level aspects of his public persona. Beyond her iconic bops, Selena has occasionally spilled some tea about her Justin era in interviews, giving us glimpses into her healing journey. In a 2019 Vanity Fair moment, she talked about releasing herself from the Gelena drama, serving major "I'm over it" energy, and focusing on her personal glow-up rather than dwelling on past situationships.
I support him. I think I always will. I'm upset when he's upset. I'm happy when he's happy. I don't want anything ever to happen to him bad. It hurts me.
In her 2022 documentary, Selena Gomez, My Mind and Me, she dropped the ultimate healing queen energy, describing the breakup with Justin as the best thing that ever happened to me, highlighting how it freed her from feeling haunted by the relationship. This perspective is giving major personal growth vibes, suggesting that while her music might still reference their history, she's fully reframed the experience as a necessary step in her character development arc. More recently, in a 2025 tea-spilling session on the Table Manners podcast, Selena revealed she felt alone for about 5 years post-breakup, with only a few shitty dates before finding her person in Benny Blanco. This confession adds context to her songwriting journey, suggesting that the tracks on I Said I Love You First aren't just about Justin, but about the whole healing process that led her to her current happy era. It's important to note that while stans and media are quick to label every Selena lyric as Justin shade, she's consistently maintained that her art goes deeper than just her ex-situationships. In her Spotify interview, she emphasized, "Most of this album has nothing to do with what everyone may go to. I've evolved so much and I have experienced life with new people. This statement is giving I'm so much more than my ex energy," reminding everyone that while some songs might touch on her Bieber chapter, they represent just one subplot in her main character journey. The reception to Selena's album proves she's absolutely in her winning era. Fans on social media are living for her healing narrative and praising Benny Blanco for being the green flag she deserves. One ex-post commented, "You said you were sorry is really about giving yourself closure and just letting go," showing how listeners are connecting with her emotional growth rather than just the drama. To fully understand Selena's musical responses to Justin, we need to acknowledge the complex backstory of their relationship saga. Their romance, which gave us almost 8 years of ship content with multiple breakups and makeups, has clearly shaped both of their artistic expressions. The final breakup in 2018, followed by Justin's whirlwind marriage to Hailey, added another layer of complexity to their narrative, influencing how Selena's subsequent music has been interpreted by the stan community.
People just thought, all right, well, this is what we think. And yeah, I made some decisions that weren't great as well, and so did he, and that's why I feel like we went through all that to only make us better.
In her groundbreaking 2020 NPR interview, Selena revealed the relationship included emotional abuse, adding serious weight to their history. She stated, "It's dangerous to stay in a victim mentality, serving empowerment vibes while acknowledging the trauma." This revelation helps explain the emotional depth in her music, suggesting her songs represent not just reflections on a past ship, but processing of some truly toxic experiences. The Gelena narrative got even messier with the Hailey chapter. Rumors that Hailey stole Justin from Selena have persisted, though Hailey addressed this head-on in her 2022 Call Her Daddy podcast appearance, saying, "I was never with him when he was in a relationship with anybody. That's the end of it." She gave respect to Selena, claiming, "There's no drama personally," and mentioned they had connected since the wedding. Selena responded to Hailey's interview with the ultimate class act moment on TikTok Live. Selena responded to Hailey's interview with the ultimate class act moment on TikTok Live, calling out the toxic fan behavior and promoting kindness. This exchange suggested these two queens might have found peace despite the stan wars, giving context to the mature perspective in Selena's recent music. As of May 2025, both Selena and Justin have leveled up in their separate journeys. Selena is thriving in her Benny Blanco era, slaying with her acting career in Only Murders in the Building, dropping music, and building her rare beauty empire. Justin is in dad mode with Hailey after welcoming baby Jack in 2024, though he's still active in his music career despite some health struggles. While their paths have diverged, their shared history continues influencing their creative output and how fans perceive them.
And I kept it all together enough to where I would never let you down, but I kept it too much together to where I let myself down. I don't want to see your bodies on Instagram. I want to see what's in here.
In analyzing Selena's musical responses to Justin, it's clear they represent more than just clapping back at specific incidents. They reflect her whole healing journey, processing complex emotions, and moving forward with new perspectives and relationships. Her songs serve as chapters in this growth story, giving us glimpses into how she's processed their complicated history. As we wrap this segment on Selena's musical responses, remember that stan interpretations of lyrics are subjective and speculative. While fans and media often draw direct lines between her songs and specific Justin moments, only Selena truly knows the full inspiration behind her art. What's undeniable is that her music has provided a powerful outlet for her emotions, contributing to a narrative that continues to have the internet in a complete chokehold. Having unpacked the alleged Jack Blues leak and analyzed Selena's musical clapbacks, let's explore how both icons have leveled up in their separate main character journeys, and the major role that parasocial relationships play in keeping this narrative living rent-free in everyone's heads. Since their final era ended in 2018, both Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber have entered their flop era and found their glow-up arc. Selena is thriving in her Benny Blanco era, with their relationship hard launching in 2023 and leveling up to engagement status in December 2024. This milestone is giving major character development energy, providing closure to the Gelena chapter that had stans in a parasocial chokehold for nearly a decade. In her spicy 2025 Table Manners podcast episode, Selena revealed the tea that she felt alone for about 5 years post-Justin, with only a few shitty dates before finding her forever vibe with Benny. This confession is giving vulnerability queen energy, showing that healing from such an iconic situationship wasn't an overnight process. However, her current relationship with Blanco is serving major green flag energy, a stark contrast to the on-again, off-again toxic era with Justin. Professionally, Selena is absolutely eating and leaving no crumbs. She's slaying in Only Murders in the Building, dropping bops like her 2025 album I Said I Love You First, and building her rare beauty empire into a billion-dollar moment. Her focus on mental health advocacy around anxiety and depression has also become core to her brand, showing she's evolved from Disney girl to multi-hyphenate queen with serious depth and purpose.
If you are broken, you do not have to stay broken. And if that's anything, whether you respect me or not, that's one thing you should know about me, is I care about people, and thank you so much for this. This is for you.
Justin's post-2018 main character arc has centered around his wife era with Hailey Bieber and his transition to dad life. The couple welcomed baby Jack in August 2024, marking a major plot development in Justin's personal journey. However, their relationship hasn't been without its messy moments, with unfollowing drama on social media in early 2025 sparking divorce rumors, though Justin later claimed it was giving accidental tap energy rather than relationship troubles. Justin's career is still in its music era, with releases and tours, but he's faced health struggles including Lyme disease and Ramsay-Hunt syndrome diagnoses, which have impacted his public appearances. His April 2025 Coachella vibe had stans worried, as he was giving disheveled and distant energy, sparking health concern threads across stan Twitter, though no official receipts confirmed any specific issues. Despite both moving on to their separate main character journeys, Selena and Justin remain linked in the collective stan consciousness, primarily through fan theories and media speculation. Since 2018, there have been zero confirmed interactions or collabs between them, yet stan accounts continue creating fan fiction about their relationship as if they're still giving situationship energy. In April 2025, a stan account on X claimed Justin liked and then unliked a photo of Selena with Benny Blanco, interpreted as throwing shade at her engagement. This tea remains unverified, but shows how stan culture continues manifesting drama even when the actual celebrities have long since moved on to new eras. The impact of stan accounts in keeping the Gelena narrative on everyone's FYP cannot be overstated. Both artists have massive cult followings that analyze every lyric, outfit choice, and social media activity through the lens of their past relationship. This parasocial phenomenon creates a reality where, despite both celebs living their best separate lives, they remain connected in the stan imagination through endless theories and what-if scenarios. This stan-driven narrative is especially evident in the reception to Selena's new album. Even though she explicitly stated, "Most of this album has nothing to do with what everyone may go to. I've evolved so much, and I have experienced life with new people." Stan Twitter continues, dissecting every lyric for Justin references, sometimes missing the actual personal growth themes she's serving. The parasocial relationships fueling this narrative raise questions about the impact of such intense public scrutiny on celebs' mental health journey. In her 2023 Fast Company interview, Selena spilled the tea about taking a 4-year social media cleanse after her Justin breakup, highlighting how toxic fan behavior and media speculation can seriously impact a celebrity's well-being. This decision shows the real challenges of navigating a high-profile breakup in the era of cancel culture and viral moments, where privacy is basically non-existent. The alleged leak of Justin's album Jack Blues before Selena's album drop perfectly illustrates how their narratives remain intertwined, whether intentionally or through stan manifestation. The timing of the leak, if legit, had stans questioning whether Justin was trying to steal Selena's thunder, reflecting the competitive dynamic that fans often project onto these artists, even as they serve completely separate eras. However, the receipts on JB Vault's legitimacy were seriously lacking, with the site listing a fake VAT number, a ghost phone number, and a sketchy address. These major red flags suggest the leak might have been fan-created, or a clout-chasing moment rather than an actual Justin-approved drop. This shows how fan theories can create entire narratives that might have zero connection to the celebrity's actual intentions or actions. The stan wars surrounding the alleged leak and Selena's album release also spotlight Hailey Bieber's role in this ongoing saga. Some stans speculated about her involvement, with comments like, SMH the Biebers should focus on being parents. This shows how Hailey has been written into the narrative as the other woman character, despite both women serving mature queen energy and attempting to shut down drama narratives. Hailey addressed these toxic stan theories in her iconic September 2022 Call Her Daddy podcast moment, stating, "There's no drama personally," and emphasizing her respect for Selena. Selena backed this up on TikTok Live, calling out hate, directed at Hailey and promoting kindness culture, showing these two are giving solidarity vibes, rather than the catfight narrative stans try to manifest. This disconnect between the celebs' actual vibes and fan-created narratives highlights a major issue in stan culture, the tendency for audiences to write fan fiction about real people's lives that may have zero connection to their lived experiences. Both Selena and Justin have repeatedly served growth and happiness energy, yet public discourse remains fixated on their past relationship and imagined ongoing beef. As of May 5th, 2025, both celebs appear focused on their current eras with little evidence of interaction or drama. Selena's public moments with Benny Blanco give major love of my life energy, while Justin continues his music career and dad era with Hailey despite occasional health struggles. The narrative of ongoing shade or competition seems primarily stan-driven rather than based on the celeb's actual behavior. This raises important questions about the mental health impact of relentless public scrutiny on celebrities. Both Selena and Justin have been open about their mental health journeys, with Selena discussing her lupus and bipolar diagnosis, and Justin sharing his depression and anxiety struggles. The constant analysis of their actions through the lens of their past relationship adds another layer of pressure to individuals already navigating serious personal challenges.
I had to stop because I had everything and I was absolutely broken inside.
Selena addressed this disconnect between public perception and private reality in her iconic 2016 American Music Awards speech when she said, "And I had to stop because I had everything and I was absolutely broken inside." This raw confession is giving major authenticity vibes, showing that beneath the headlines and fan theories are real humans dealing with real struggles, not characters in some stan-written drama series. Social media's role in fueling the Gelena narrative is literally the blueprint for how fan culture shapes celebrity stories. Platforms like TikTok, X, and Instagram give stans places to share theories, overanalyze lyrics, and create content that keeps the ship sailing years after it actually sank. Posts like Selena Gomez writing about Justin Bieber with her current fiancé is kinda crazy, but the songs are great, so show how audiences continue framing Selena's art primarily through her Justin era, potentially missing the bigger picture of her creative journey. This social media ecosystem also amplifies unverified tea and creates drama where there's none. The rumor that Justin liked and then unliked photos of Selena with Benny, interpreted as throwing shade at her engagement, spread faster than a TikTok dance challenge, creating perceived beef without actual receipts. This shows how the algorithm can blur the line between stan fiction and celebrity reality, with theories going viral regardless of whether they're giving fact or cap energy. Looking forward, it's serving major certainty that both Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber will remain linked in stan discourse, despite their completely separate main character journeys. Their shared history has created a narrative that transcends their actual relationship timeline, becoming cultural canon that resonates with audiences who see their own toxic situationship experiences reflected in the Gelena saga. However, it's important to recognize that both artists have absolutely glowed up since their time together. Selena's engagement to Benny Blanco represents her entering her happiness era, while her multi-hyphenate career success across music, acting, and beauty shows she's way more than just Justin's ex. Similarly, Justin's dad era with Hailey and baby Jack marks his evolution into a new life chapter, completely separate from his Gelena identity.
What do you think you have learned? When you wake up in the morning and you say, okay, a year ago I didn't think this or know this, what is it?
How to love myself first. And not just in a relationship, in my everyday life. I give myself so much. I let people pull at me in every direction, and I want everybody to be happy. And eventually I would be in my bathroom sobbing right before I'd go on stage. And then I'd just put myself on stage, and I'd want to be there for those people.
In her tea-spilling moment with Ryan Seacrest, Selena reflected on her major growth journey, saying, "How to love myself first, and not just in a relationship, in my everyday life." This self-love revelation captures the healing arc she's been on, suggesting that while her Justin chapter remains part of her backstory, it's definitely not her entire character development. As we wrap this deep dive into Selena Gomez's reactions to Justin Bieber's music and their shared narrative, it's worth reflecting on what this saga reveals about celebrity culture and our consumption of it. The eternal obsession with Gelena highlights how audiences crave dramatic relationship arcs, especially those featuring the toxic but can't quit each other trope that dominated their timeline. However, it also shows the importance of separating stan fiction from celebrity reality. While fans might continue creating elaborate theories about ongoing connections or secret shade, the actual humans have moved forward with their lives, finding new relationships, creating art, and navigating challenges away from their shared history. As Selena stated in her 2022 documentary, My Mind and Me, her breakup with Justin was the best thing that ever happened to me, freeing her from feeling haunted by their past. This perspective is giving major healing energy, suggesting that while stan accounts may keep the ship afloat, the actual passengers have long since disembarked and found new journeys. In conclusion, the most respectful approach to this iconic saga might be acknowledging the complexity of human relationships, while giving both Selena and Justin the space to define their own narratives. Rather than imposing forever endgame or bitter enemies storylines, we might recognize that, like all of us, these celebs are multidimensional humans whose experiences with love, heartbreak, and healing can't be reduced to clickbait headlines or stan theories. It's been barely 5 days since Selena Gomez dropped her latest album, and the internet has been in absolute chaos. Fans, critics, and casual listeners alike have been dissecting every lyric, and one thing is clear: she did not come to play. Multiple tracks have been flagged as not-so-subtle jabs at her ex, Justin Bieber, sending both fandoms into a frenzy. From heartbreak confessions to straight-up side-eye moments, Selena seems to be laying it all out, and trust, the internet is eating it up. First shade. Selena Gomez's latest album, I Said I Love You First, has everyone from fans to critics to the media talking. And if you have been following the Gelena drama, you'd know that this is not a hoax. Fans and critics are picking apart the lyrics, convinced she's throwing shade at her ex, Justin Bieber. In the song How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten, it suggests that while she's moved on, he's still clinging to the past, trying to keep up appearances. The lyrics hit hard with lines like, "You're so embarrassing, go cry when no one's watching, I can't imagine it. How does it feel to be forgotten? Forgotten. It paints a picture of someone struggling to accept they've been left behind while the other person has moved forward. Then she gets even bolder with, "'Cause you walked in, big grin, talking like we're friends, honey, what were you thinking? He loves me, I love him, look at you, just look at you now." Fans are convinced this is a direct shot at Bieber, calling out his public persona and his attempts to act unbothered. Gomez and Bieber's relationship was a wild ride that started back in 2010, full of breakups, makeups, and drama. They officially ended things in 2015, briefly got back together in 2017, then split for good in early 2018 over trust issues. Not long after, Bieber married Hailey Baldwin, adding more layers to an already complicated history. And of course, this isn't the first time fans have analyzed every word of Selena's lyrics, searching for hidden meanings tied to her past loves, especially Justin Bieber. Take, for example, Cut You Off. In this song, Gomez sings about ending a toxic relationship. One lyric in particular has people talking. "I've been carrying you for 1460 days. Fans did the math. 1,460 days is about 4 years, which happens to match one of the most intense periods of her relationship with Bieber. Naturally, speculation went through the roof, with many convinced the song is her way of closing that chapter for good. Now with Cut You Off, Selena isn't just moving on. She's making sure everyone knows she's reclaiming her peace. The song's upbeat tempo and bold lyrics mark a shift from her earlier heartbreak anthems. Instead of dwelling on what was, she's celebrating what's next. This track follows follows Lose You to Love Me and Look at Her Now, two other songs that seem to address her past with Bieber. Together, they paint a picture of Selena's evolution, turning personal pain into powerful music. While neither Selena nor Justin confirmed the song's inspiration, the breadcrumbs are there. The themes running through her recent music suggest a woman who's done being weighed down by the past. Instead, she's stepping into her power, shedding the baggage, and keeping it moving. So has she truly moved on, or is this album her final mic drop on a relationship that once had the world hooked? If you thought Selena was done with the shade, think again, because fans have picked out another track that has everyone side-eyeing Justin's entire marriage. Second shade. Selena Gomez's song Don't Take It Personally has had her fans and even Justin and Hailey's fans deep in their feelings, stirring up all kinds of speculation about its ties to her past with Justin Bieber. The lyrics hit raw and direct, making people wonder if Selena is subtly calling Justin out, hinting that despite being married to Hailey Bieber, he might still have a soft spot for her. Naturally, this theory has taken over the internet, with fans dissecting every line like it's a secret code to the trio's complicated history. Right from the start, Selena paints a picture of a love triangle, seemingly addressing a certain other woman, and fans think it's Hailey. The line, "I know the two of you used to talk like every day," throws a little side-eye at a past connection between Justin and someone else. Then, she drops a visual that adds fuel to the fire, a dartboard with her face on it. The tension, unmistakable. As the chorus kicks in, Selena's message gets even bolder. She tells someone, maybe Justin, not to take things personally, as if to say some relationships are just meant to be. The standout lyric, "Please don't take it personally," / "Some things are just meant to be," / "Don't waste all your energy," / "We both know that he loves me," is what really sent fans into a frenzy. If she is talking about Justin, she's basically saying he hasn't fully moved on. No matter how things look on the surface. The second verse brings out a more vulnerable side. Selena opens up about jealousy and insecurity, getting real about stress eating and drowning her feelings in vodka. Then she drops the line, "I used to get so jealous I would stress eat, drown my sorrows, in a bottle of vodka, and then I remembered that he doesn't want ya," which many believe is aimed straight at Hailey. That one lyric alone has sparked heated debates. Some fans see it as a direct shot, while others think it's just Selena processing the emotional fallout of the past. Then comes the bridge, where she repeats the word forever, like a haunting echo, making it clear that some loves just don't fade, no matter how much time passes or how things change. The outro circles back to the chorus, driving home the idea that certain connections are unshakable, even if the world moves on. Selena, of course, is keeping things mysterious, refusing to confirm exactly who the song is about. That just makes the speculation even wilder. The timing and the lyrics, though, take for example, "Lose You to Love Me" was believed to address Gomez's breakup with Justin Bieber. This wasn't just a breakup song, it was a full circle moment, a lyrical mic drop that had fans dissecting every line, convinced she was spilling her truth about her roller coaster relationship with Justin Bieber. And honestly, the clues were practically gift wrapped. The line that had everyone talking, "In 2 months you replaced us like it was easy," felt like a direct hit. If you've been keeping up, you know that after Selena and Justin's final split in March 2018, he wasted no time moving on with Hailey Baldwin. By July, he had a ring on her finger, and by September they were legally married. The speed? Insane. Fans were shook, and Selena, well, this song made it clear she felt that too. Then there's "Set Fire to My Purpose" and "I Let It Burn," which, let's be real, is almost too perfectly tied to Bieber's Purpose album. A coincidence? Please. Selena knew exactly what she was doing. That line hit like a quiet goodbye to a chapter she was finally ready to close, watching it go up in flames without looking back. Fans weren't just listening, they were feeling it. Twitter went wild the night the song dropped, with people calling it the ultimate closure track. One fan summed it up perfectly. "Selena Gomez really said, 'In 2 months you replaced us, and now I need a moment,'" another put it. Bluntly, Selena Gomez calling out Justin Bieber. Yas queen. The energy? Unmatched. Although Don't Take It Personally had fans side-eyeing Selena and Justin, "You Said You Were Sorry" even makes things worse as it supposedly throws shade at Justin's public apology song to Selena. Third shade. Selena Gomez's song, "You Said You Were Sorry," has the internet running wild, with fans playing detective over every lyric, trying to decode whether it's a direct clapback to Justin Bieber's "Sorry." The track is drenched in emotion, diving deep into themes of betrayal, regret, and the messiness of unfinished business. And let's be real, Selena knows how to use music as therapy, and this one feels like a final word on a relationship that had the whole world watching. Fans have long obsessed over the roller coaster that was Selena and Justin's relationship, breakups, makeups, and moments that had people switching sides like it was a reality show. Their love story may be old news, but every so often a song drops that pulls everyone right back in. Now You Said You Were Sorry has sparked fresh theories that Selena is reclaiming the narrative, telling her truth through lyrics that cut deep, and the timing almost poetic. Selena has spent the last few years making it very clear that she's on a different path now, one filled with peace, self-care, and a whole lot of unbothered energy. Her social media is glowing with soft life vibes, and she's been vocal about her mental health journey. It's a stark contrast from the emotional whirlwind that once defined her life, and this shift is loud and clear in her music. But let's talk about the connection that has everyone spiraling. Justin's 2015 hit Sorry. When it dropped, the world was convinced it was his way of apologizing to Selena. Fast forward to You Said You Were Sorry, and fans are asking, is this her response years later? The lyrics are laced with reflections on empty apologies and promises that never held weight. Basically, the kind of regret-filled storytelling that fits a certain past relationship a little too well. Lines about apologies that were never really meant hit differently for those who kept up with Selena and Justin's chaotic history. It's not just a breakup song, it's a full-on release. Like she's finally putting the past in a box, sealing it shut, and tossing it into the ocean. And honestly, the glow-up is real. What makes this song even more powerful is that it doesn't come from a place of pain. It's coming from a woman who's done the work, healed, and stepped into her best self. Selena's recent music is all about strength, self-love, and moving forward, not backward. The drama? That's for the fans to debate. She's too busy living her best life. Take, for example, Selena's Feel Me song back in 2020. It wasn't just a track, it's a whole era, dripping in heartbreak, longing, and the kind of emotional messiness that had fans spiraling. The song first made waves during her revival tour in 2016, instantly becoming a fan favorite, even though it wouldn't see an official release for another 4 years. And if you know anything about that time in Selena's life, you know this track came with receipts. Back then, Selena and Justin Bieber were deep in their Gelena saga, an on-again, off-again roller coaster that had people switching sides like it was a reality show finale. Just before the song debuted, Justin had the internet in shambles when he serenaded Selena with My Girl in LA, and even posted a picture of them kissing, making fans believe they were so back. But if this love story had a genre, it would be psychological thriller, because by August 2016, Justin had moved on publicly with Sophia Richie. And Selena? Let's just say she wasn't exactly sending well wishes. Their Instagram showdown that followed was so messy, it deserves its own documentary. Then comes Feel Me, a song that basically said, go ahead, move on, but don't act like you don't still feel me in your soul. Lyrics like, no one love you like I love ya, never cheat, never lie, hit differently when you remember Selena called Justin out for allegedly being less than faithful. And that chorus, every time your lips touch another, I want you to feel me, girl, please. Fans didn't have to read between the lines to know exactly who this was about. So as You Said You Were Sorry about Justin? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, the song is hitting fans in all the right places, keeping the conversation alive, and proving that Selena's story is one worth listening to. But one thing's for sure, this isn't the sound of someone still caught up in the past. This is the sound of someone who has moved way on, and she's making sure the world knows it. And for Justin's fans, the heartbreak saga continues, and they will pick out any lyric that sounds like a shade, just as they picked out the lyrics on Don't Wanna Cry. Fourth shade. Another song on the album that had the internet fans spiraling is Don't Wanna Cry. To the Justin and Hailey fans, the song isn't just a breakup anthem. It's a whole mood, dripping in heartbreak, regret, and that gut-wrenching moment when you realize you were always too forgiving. And of course, fans are convinced it's yet another lyrical reference about her history with Justin Bieber. From the first verse, Selena sets the tone, left the door wide open for the world to see, only to watch you move on like I was never there. If that doesn't scream public heartbreak, what does? It's giving front row seats to your own misery, a feeling all too familiar for those who watched her and Justin's on-again, off-again love story unfold in real time. And then there's that line, then you kiss her right in front of me like I'm not even there. Yikes! Fans wasted no time connecting the dots to moments when Bieber was spotted with other women while the dust on their breakup was still settling. Selena's delivery? Painfully raw, like she's reliving it all over again. But Don't Wanna Cry isn't just about the betrayal. It's about being stuck in a cycle you know is toxic. I should cause a scene for the you've done to me. The saddest part is, we both know that I would never leave. But fans never stopped looking for clues, and every new song felt like another puzzle piece in their messy love story, especially songs that expose Selena's vulnerabilities. For example, it was easy for Selena's fans to pick apart the lyrics of the Vulnerable song, because it was a song that feels like reading someone's diary, except the words are your own if you've ever been through a heartbreak that made you second-guess your ability to trust again. The lyrics? If I show you all my demons, and we dive into the deep end, would we crash and burn like every time time before, the lyrics spell it out. If I give you all my trust, and you still don't get enough, would you run away? It's the internal battle between letting go and playing it safe, a struggle anyone who's ever been heartbroken knows all too well. And let's be real, coming off a breakup as public and gut-wrenching as hers, Selena had every reason to keep her walls up. She's been vocal about how the end of her relationship with Bieber wrecked her emotionally. She's talked about therapy, battling anxiety and depression, and the slow, painful process of finding herself again. However, with the constant interference from her and Justin's fans, every lyric seems like a shade, especially a few lyrics from the Young and Hotter Than Me track. Fifth shade. Another track that has put Selena's album on the spot is the Younger and Hotter Than Me track. It is a whole mood, a sharp, honest, and slightly bitter anthem that dives deep into the sting of watching an ex move on with someone fresh out the wrapper. The lyrics, they don't hold back. We're not getting any younger, but your girlfriends seem to... Now that is the kind of line that makes you sit up and say, oop, she really said that. And of course, the fans, they're connecting the dots, because how couldn't they? Given the history, it's hard not to see the parallels between Selena, her ex Justin Bieber, and his wife Hailey Baldwin, who just happens to be younger than Selena by 4 years. Whether intentional or not, the track feels like a diary entry set to music, full of lingering feelings and the kind of self-doubt we don't talk about out loud. Selena described the song as a reflection on the pressures of being in an industry where there's always something shinier or better that people gravitate toward. The lyrics explore feelings of insecurity, longing, and the lingering emotional toll of a past relationship, seemingly the one with Justin. In the song, Selena reminisces about a time when love felt innocent and real, but as time passed, she realized the painful imbalance in their dynamic. Lines like, "Now I use my own ID," suggest the passage of time as she recalls being young and naive, unable to see the red flags in their relationship. The lyric, "Dog on Your Leash," illustrates how she felt controlled and powerless, even as she clung to the hope of being wanted. The chorus contrasts her aging and emotional growth with her ex's pursuit of younger, seemingly better partners, highlighting the stark imbalance in how they've moved on. The song is about the nostalgia of youthful love, intertwined with the bitterness of realizing it wasn't as pure as it once seemed. Selena also made a similar reference in one of her previous tracks, "Look at Her Now." It was released shortly after "Lose You to Love Me," and this upbeat track reflects on a past relationship. Lines such as, "It was her first real lover, his too, till he had another," are interpreted by fans as nods to Gomez and Bieber's relationship and his subsequent marriage to Hailey. From the jump, the beat is crisp, the energy is high, and the lyrics, straight facts. It was her first real lover, his too, till he had another. Selena is giving us a play-by-play of a love story that started out sweet, but ended with someone switching lanes a little too fast. And let's be real, the world watched every twist and turn of her on-again, off-again relationship with Justin Bieber like it was a Netflix series. The media had a front row seat, the fans had their theories, and then Bieber put a ring on Hailey Baldwin like he was in a race against time. Sixth shade. Now, another track that has had fans, especially the Gelena fans, in stitches is the Sunset Boulevard. It is the type of track that'll have you clutching your pearls, dissecting every lyric, and vibing to the undeniable passion. However, fans have been buzzing over Selena Gomez's new track, Sunset Boulevard, from her album I Said I Love You First, with many offering mixed reactions to the song's explicit lyrics and the potential implications for both her fiancé, Benny Blanco, and her ex, Justin Bieber. One Reddit user in particular expressed their discontent, calling the track classless and accusing it of lacking any real sense or cohesion. The user went on to criticize the song's attempt at seduction, saying the line "hard heart" didn't make any sense as a double entendre and didn't land as intended. While Gomez's lyrics certainly explore themes of passion and desire, the user suggests that the song's approach to these topics feels somewhat forced and awkward. The reference to being naked on Sunset Boulevard, with its rebellious energy, is seen as an attempt to channel the fiery passion of artists like Beyoncé with Partition. However, more people argue that Gomez falls short in comparison, calling the song's execution more of a B-grade attempt at the same concept. The most contentious part, however, seems to be the insinuations about Gomez's relationship history. Fans have speculated that the line, "I made you famous," might be a pointed jab at Bieber, referencing her role in his rise to stardom. Given the public nature of their on-again, off-again romance, this lyric is seen by some as a subtle but cutting remark that brings their past relationship back into the spotlight. The line, "Praying that you quench my thirst," has been interpreted by some fans as a glaring admission of sexual dissatisfaction, specifically, a hope that Blanco's abilities will match up to her past experiences with Bieber. Some have gone as far as to suggest that Gomez is not sexually satisfied with Blanco, and is using him as a way to distract herself from, or even get over, Bieber. This interpretation paints the track as a complex emotional struggle, where Gomez is seemingly caught between her current fiancé and her unresolved feelings for her ex. While the song's exploration of passion is not inherently problematic, after all, all, artists like Beyoncé have long celebrated their intimacy in songs like Partition. Most fans claim that Gomez's attempt lacks the same sense of appreciation and instead conveys a more desperate energy. They suggest that Sunset BLB feels more like a plea for validation, positioning Blanco as a substitute for the unresolved feelings Gomez might still harbor for Bieber. Selena Gomez seemingly set the record straight that the songs from her and fiancé Benny Blanco's new album, I Said I Love You First, were not about her ex-boyfriend Justin Bieber, despite what fans might think. The collaboration with Benny Blanco brings out a whole new side of Selena, one that's raw, introspective, and full of growth. Fans have been digging into every track, trying to decode the lyrics and find any hint of Bieber. The two had a highly publicized on and off romance that had the media eating it up. But despite the speculation, Selena insists that this album is her own story, one that's about her journey of self-discovery, not about the past. In a recent interview, Selena got real, saying, "Anytime I release anything, the interpretation is going to be up to the audience. However, I would like to say that most of this album has nothing to do with what everyone may go to. She wants the world to hear this music for what it is, a reflection of her growth and the emotional roller coaster she's been riding as an artist and an individual." Benny Blanco, the genius behind hits for Ed Sheeran and Halsey, has helped craft a sound that's both fresh and nostalgic. The album blends pop with indie vibes, showcasing Selena's vocal range and emotional depth. The result? Catchy tracks, but also leave you feeling something real. By addressing the rumors head-on, she's proving that her art speaks louder than anything else. With Benny Blanco in her corner, Selena's poised to make waves and remind everyone that her talent is the real star of the show. One thing's for sure, the music speaks louder than words, and fans will keep dissecting every track until they find their answers. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.